Between October and November 2020, two important pieces of legislation scaled second reading in both chambers of the National Assembly. They are the much-expected Electoral Act Amendment Bill and the Petroleum Industry Bill PIB. President of the Senate and the Speaker of the House of Representatives had repeatedly assured Nigerians that the PIB would be passed by April. It's over a month since the National Assembly concluded the public hearing on the PIB, and the goalpost appears to have been shifted.
It is our determination and plan and design that we're able to pass the PIB by the end of April by the grace of God, or latest, should anything untoward happens, but before the middle of May.
At the time the commitment was made, we didn't take into consideration the fact of Easter break, and Ramadan is coming up as well. We're still shooting for going for end of April, but we're not going to straitjacket ourselves into that a particular date. When we say end of April, we're talking about thereabouts. Might be a week after, might be 2 weeks after at most.
The recent development is unsatisfactory to civil society organizations.
It's actually becoming very embarrassing for the country that you would spend more than 3 legislative sessions going to about 12 years debating and trying to come to conclusion on one law.
In December 2020, President of the Senate Ahmed Lawan assured that the National Assembly would pass the Electoral Act Amendment Bill by the first quarter of 2021. He stated this at the public hearing organized by the National Assembly Joint Committees on INEC and Electoral Matters. That did not happen, even though expectations were that the National Assembly would prioritize amending the bill in good time for the next general elections and even off-season elections such as the Anambra governorship election, which is now months away.
For any amendment to become valid, the best practice is that it must have been passed 6 months into this election. So it's not actually reflective of the fierce urgency that the bill actually needs.
The Electoral Act particularly is a repeal and reenactment of the existing law. It includes several new provisions that require logistics preparations, requires implementation strategies for it to be effectively used for the 2023 general election. So I think it's gotten too close already. I believe that the National Assembly should, as a matter of urgency, take needed action to ensure that this is passed as soon as it reconvenes in the middle of April.
Another piece of legislation which the entire country is anticipating is the Constitution Amendment. While some have clearly stated that there is no need for the National Assembly to go through the review process, advising instead that attention should be paid to the 2014 Confab report and the Nasir El-Rufai Committee report, the review process is yet to commence, over a year since the committees were set up in both chambers.
The opportunity the Constitution Amendment gives to address this, to give people a voice, is one that we should actually take very serious. And the National Assembly, being the representative of the people, at least they know the pulse of the people. They go back to their constituency. They hear what they say. Should really look at this as their number one assignment.
There are strong concerns that these pieces of legislation require utmost thoroughness, but may not be achievable if urgent attention is not paid to them in good time before the commencement of election activities ahead of the 2023 general elections, when lawmakers would be divided between the business of lawmaking and seeking re-election. Terry Ikumi, Channels Television News.